Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranam, welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we'll be having the Vani Association of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We'll be hearing a lecture on the topic Real Austerity from 5th canto, 5th chapter, verse 1. So I'll be playing the lecture. In case if you're not able to hear the audio, please type in the chat window.
Lord Rishabdev said, now this all living entities who have accepted material bodies, in this world, troublesome, Kaman, sense gratification, Ahate, Vidbujam, stool eaters, Yea, which, Tapa, austerities and penances, Divyam, divine, Putraka, my dear sons, Yena, by which, Sattvam, the heart, Shudyed, becomes purified, Tasmad,
which?
Brahmasaukyam,
Brahma Saukyam,
spiritual happiness.
spiritual happiness. Two, certainly. Anantam, unending.
Lord Rishabdev told his sons, "My dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity one's heart is purified, and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever."
So we have discussed this verse yesterday. It is very essential that this human form of body is meant for rectifying or purifying our existence. That they do not know, especially at the modern age, that this body is temporary and we, living entities, we are eternal, and this is our bondage. So long we are within this material body, it is our bondage. Real life is eternal life, without any birth, death, old age and disease. Where is that science? There is no such department of knowledge. That's how one can live eternally without any disease, without any old age, and without any death, and without any birth. If there is birth, there is death. And between the two, birth and death, there is old age and disease. Where is that scientist who are trying to solve this problem? And Krishna put this problem before us. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosanu darsana. This is knowledge. They are making plans for so many things, but where is that plan to stop janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha? That is not so easy. Therefore they have avoided it. Though they do not touch this point, they are making arrangement for temporary so-called happiness. That attempt is done even by cats and dogs. That is not successful life. I have several times told you, this is Vedic civilization. When Vishwamitra came to see Maharaj Dasarath, it is etiquette. Suppose a friend comes, we ask, "How are you, my friend? How things are going on?" So similarly, when Dasarath Maharaj inquired Vishwamitra, "How are you?" that "how are you" was not ordinary question. He inquired, "Oi histam jat punarjanma jayaya." The great saintly persons, sages, they are engaged in devotional service. What is the purpose? The purpose is not some for material gain. The purpose is different. That was inquired by Dasarath Maharaj. Ohistang jat punarjanma jayaya. You are undergoing tapasya, austerities for conquering over rebirth. Rebirth, that is very painful. But because we are mudhas, we have forgotten what is the painful condition is rebirth. We do not remember it. We do not remember. We had to pass through. We can simply imagine how it is painful to remain in the womb of the mother, packed up in a airtight bag, and hands and legs, you cannot move even. So, this is the tribulations of taking birth. And similarly, the tribulations of death. Sometimes one remains in coma for months and he suffers so much. Sometimes he cries, actually tears come out. We cannot see, but within the body of the dying man is so much painful. This is called janma mrityu. An old man's, there are difficulties, and badly everyone is subjected to some kind of disease. So we do not take account. So here Rishabdev is stressing on this point, my dear boys, do not spoil your life living like cats and dogs. Do not, this is not meant for this life. This human form of life is meant for different purposes. Durlabham manusam janmam tadapi adhurvam arthadam. That we should always remember, that this human form of body is obtained after many, many births. Bahunam janmanam ante. Bahusambhavanti. Bahusambhava. Sambhava means birth and death, birth and so we should not forget this. Everyone should be very serious. That is civilization. Not that to remain for sense gratification like cats and dogs, fighting. This is not good. So, to achieve this highest goal of life, it requires tapasya, austerity. It is not easily obtainable. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us Tiradapi Sunechena Tarorapi Sahisnula Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended Parang Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtan. Simply by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended, not whimsically. This is the prescription of this age. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Parang Vijayate. If you perfectly chant this Hare Krishna mantra, Kirtanadeva Krishnasya, not any other name but Krishna. Mukta Sangha. You can become free from this material association or the contamination due to material contact. That is the special advantage of this age. This age, Kali Yuga, is full of faulty things. Kalau dosha nidhe. It is an ocean of faulty things. It is very, very difficult Sarvange gha kutay no molo. A man is suffering from itches or what is called sores all over the body. So where he shall give ointment? He should be dipped into the ointment. This is the position. Similarly, how much you will find out this is faulty, this is faulty, this is faulty. The life in the Kali Yuga itself is faulty. Everything is faulty. So, but still, Krishna is so kind. He has given an opportunity that by chanting His holy name, one can become free from this faulty position. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya mukta sangha parang brajayat. It is possible. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahavadana Avatar, his patit power is the deliverer of all the fallen souls. He has given us this much tapasya prescription. Tapasya must be there. And that is very easy to be done by us. It is not very difficult. One has to become very humble. That is the first qualification. Tinadapi sunicheno. Sunicheno means lower than the grass. That's like we trample over the grass. They do not protest. Tinadapi sunicheno. Taroropi sahisnuna, and tolerant, humbler than the grass and tolerant than the tree. The tree gives us all benefit, but in return we give the tree so much trouble. We snatch away the twigs, we snatch away the leaves, sometimes for our fuel we cut down, but there is no protest. So these things have been taught by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tinadvi sunichena tarorupi sahisnuna amanina manadena. Nobody should think himself that he is very prestigious person. Falsely, nobody is prestigious. Everyone should be humble. So these 3-4 things we should learn. And that is tapasya. And we should avoid the sinful activities, namely no illicit sex, no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication. These are some of the positive and negative formulas given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if we follow this tapasya and chant Hare Krishna, then our life is successful. Life is successful means, it is stated here, Sattang Shuddhe Jasmad Brahma Sokham Tanam Tam. Where every one of us, we are after happiness, Sukham. From Sukham it has come Sokham. That happiness, if we want to continue our eternal life, then we require eternal happiness. Without happiness, our life is not worth. Anandamaya Abhyasa. Everyone should be happy, Anandamaya. That is spiritual word. Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavita bhi stabhi jayi manijarupataya kalabhi. There is like Ananda chinmaya rasa. Not jaranam. This is jaranam. In the material world, the material happiness is joro, there is no life. But there is a place which is full of eternal happiness. So this life should be engaged for that purpose, not to fight like cats and dogs. That is not very credit. Credit means ruining one's life. If one fights like cats and dogs, he becomes cats and dogs. Nature's law is very strict. Therefore we should be very careful not to become like cats and dogs, but to become very humble, humbler than the grass and tolerant than the tree. Everyone wants that I am very honorable man, prestigious man, and you should respect me. That is our material disease. I do not want to respect you, but you should offer me respect. This is the position. Therefore our system is to call another Vaishnava as Prabhu. Sir, you are Prabhu, you are master. But we call Prabhu, but I think, no, you are not Prabhu, I am Prabhu, you are servant. This cheating process will not help us. Actually, we should believe that he is Prabhu. He is servant of Krishna, therefore he is my Prabhu. This is Vaishnava mentality. Gopi bhattu padakamaleo dasu 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 dasanu dasa. One who wants to become servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. He is actually Prabhu. If falsely one thinks that I am Prabhu, then his life is spoiled. So, this word we use amongst ourselves, Prabhu, means that I am your servant, you are my master. But that should be practically exhibited. That is called tapasya, to learn all these things. Without tapasya, we cannot get out of this conditioned state. That is not possible. Those who are thinking that let us do whatever nonsense I can do, and at the same time I become free from this material condition. No, that is not possible. One has to undergo tapasya. Just like if you are diseased, you have to undergo some tapasya. Just like first of all you go to a medical man, immediately he charges 10 rupees, 20 rupees. In our country, in your country it is more. No doctor charges less than $10. $10 means in our exchange it is 90 rupees. So who can pay 90 rupees in this country? That is the minimum charge. Then there is medicine. So you have to pay it because you have got disease. And you have to earn this money with hard labor. So to cure your disease, you have to undergo some penances, some austerities. This is an ordinary. And according to the gravity of the disease, you have to pay more, which you may not have. You have to gather, you have to borrow, you have to beg. So these tribulations are called tapasya. So just for curing our ordinary disease, we have to pay to the doctor, pay for the medicine, and then we have to starve also. We cannot take anything. So many things forbidden. So this austerity is called tapasya. Denial, self-denial. So we should learn it. If we want to utilize this body like a sane man, then we should learn tapasya. Tapo dibbam. And this tapa, what is the purpose of tapasya? Tapasya everyone goes. Just like a man walking on the street, pulling a thela. What is the purpose? He'll get 5 or 10 rupees, whole day working like an ass. That is also tapasya. Tapasya means labor. So he is thinking, I'll get 10 rupees by working. He cannot pull it. The load is so heavy, still somewhere or other. That is also tapasya. A scientist discovering something, he has to work very hard, make experiment, so many things. That is also tapasya. But not that kind of tapasya. That kind of tapasya is not required. Tapo dibbam. You are working hard for maintaining your body and soul together. You have to work hard. But here, that hard work should be for self-realization, divine contact. That is called dibbam. Dibbam is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Janma karmancha dibbam me. If you simply take little trouble to understand Krishna, that tapasya required. To read Krishna's instruction, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and try to understand Krishna. Because that tapasya, if you take little painful, it is not painful, it is very pleasing, but we avoid it. We think it is painful. Who is going to read books? We are meant for selling books, not for reading books. This is not good. We should read also. That is tapasya. Sadhyaya, that is tapasya. Don't think that simply our books are meant for selling. No, it is meant for reading also. If we read regularly, at least 2 hours, 3 hours, that is tapasya. Tapo dibbam, to understand spiritual position, my spiritual position, Krishna's spiritual stuff. So, that is tapasya. These are the tapasya. To rise early in the morning, that is also tapasya. Not that every day we have to ring bell, dang, 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 dang. Get up. No, I am sleeping. Now you have to accept. These are the tapasya. We cannot avoid, if we actually want to avoid this body working like cats and dogs, like animals, then we have to undergo tapasya. Because very simple tapasya. In this age, it is not possible that as big saintly persons, they go to the forest and undergo meditation in Himalaya, mountain, under snow, and so many different, no food, no shelter, secluded place. There are so many animals. That kind of tapasya is not possible in this age. You remain, we are constructing big nice building, but because the building is there, you simply come here as a free guest and make life very easy for eating and sleeping. That is not tapasya. That is not tapasya. You must be very careful how to keep the temple very clean, yourself clean, worshipping the deity. That is recommended. Sri Vigrahara Dhana Nityanana Singara Dhanamandiramardhanadu. This is also tapasya. If you cannot read, if you cannot do any other thing, so try to keep the temple Every corner of this temple is Krishna. Don't think that the only Krishna is here in the temple room. No, Krishna is everywhere, especially this temple where Krishna lives. That every part of his temple, every part of his Krishna. Otherwise, why it is recommended? Tana mandira marjanadishu. This is tapasya. You should always remain engaged, doing something for Krishna. Don't think this is very first class, this is last class. No. Advaita, Krishna and Krishna's temple, the same thing. Don't think that, oh, I am giving this work to cleanse the temple and that man is giving this work to worship the deity. There is no difference. Aradha Bhagavan Brajasatayana Tadhyama Vrindavanam. As Brajasatana, Krishna is Aradha, worshipable. Similarly, his Dhama, his place, this Vrindavan, is also worshipable, as good as Krishna. So I have to speak of temple. Whole Vrindavan, just like Uddhav, when he came to take Krishna to Mathura, he immediately fell down on the grass of Vrindavan. That these grasses are so fortunate that over this grass, Krishna and the gopis and Krishna's friends, they trample over. This is Vaishnava Vichar. Not that he is thinking grass is insignificant than Krishna. No. Krishna's name, Krishna's fame, Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's paraphernalia, Krishna's associates, everything is Krishna. And we should treat like that. That is tapasya. And following the footsteps, Mahajana Jaina Gatasya Panthya, Sadhu Marganu Gamanam. These things we should learn. Sadhu Marganu Gamanam. Just like sadhu, your crew is a sadhu, how he respected even grass of Vrindavan. So unless we read books, literature, and follow their example, then how tapasya will be there? So things should not be neglected. Timber. So if we undergo this tapasya, then our existence will be purified. This method, this process is devotional service. The devotional service from the very beginning, it is transcendental. Ihadasya Hare. If you simply desire to serve Krishna, that's the beginning of existence and purification. Immediate. Ihadasya Hare Dasya Karmanam Rasa Vacha. Simply, if you sincerely say that how shall I serve Krishna? Krishna does not mean simply Krishna. There Krishna means Krishna, Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's quality, Krishna's paraphernalia, Krishna's association, everything in connection. Nidbandhi Krishna Sambandha, Jukta Vairagam, everything. So, in this way, if we lead our life, then this life will be successful and then the result will be Jasmat Brahma Saukham. Brahma Saukham. Here, Brahma Saukham may be interpreted as Mayavadi says, Brahma Sukh, Brahma Leen. This is also Brahma Leen, Brahma Sukh, but it is not the Mayavadi philosophy. Mayavadi philosophy is to kill himself, to become one with Brahma. So if, suppose I have to eat something to enjoy, so I can eat, that is enjoyment. But If I lose my existence, I become the food. Then what is enjoyment? No. The enjoyment is, the food is there, I am there, I shall eat and enjoy. That means Dvaita. Monism is not enjoyment. And therefore they fall down. Arujya kichena paranga padanga tata patanti ada. See that Brahma Sakha do not think that to become Brahma or to become one with Brahma, that is not Sukha. That they do not know. Therefore, my Guru Maharaj used to say, poor fund of knowledge. By becoming one with the Brahma, Supreme Brahma, that is not actually Sukha. If it is actually Sukha, then why in the Shastra it is said, Arujyakichena paranga padanga tata patanti adha. By very severe austerities, they come to the Brahma platform, monism, to become one with the Supreme. But from there, he falls down. Why falls down? Anadita jusmatangraya. Because they have no information of the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Unless you come to that point, then there is no possibility of eternal happiness. Therefore it is said, the tapasya, tapo dibbam, that is dibbam. Krishna has explained, janma karma chame dibbam. That means activities, transcendental activities. Not that Krishna is a zero, full stop. No, actual activities begins when there is Krishna consciousness. These activities, they are my activities, temporary, and they will not give us real happiness. Real happiness means when we come to the platform to be engaged in Krishna's activities. Suppose the bang putraka, then you will get eternal happiness. That is recommended here. Brahma Sakha does not mean that ordinarily they think that to become Brahmaling or merge into the existence of Brahma. No. That will be explained in the next verse. Mahasevadaram mahur vimukti. It will be explained. We shall take up the subject tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Some of the points I could recollect are very wonderfully. Prabhupada has talked about what real austerity is, like as everyone is looking for happiness, but because we are in this conditioned world or conditioned state where what we are experiencing is actually Jadananda. So how Prabhupada has explained that rebirth is a very painful process and we need to get out, we need to perform the real austerity. One may think by the word austerity, it means that we have to do a lot of going to the Himalayas and do a lot of meditation for very long years. But Prabhupada nicely explained, tapasya just means simply rising early in the morning, reading books. Wonderful statement. Books are not for selling, but for reading, eating prasadam, maintaining Vaishnava, which are like thinking oneself to be lower than the blade of grass, and considering others as Prabhus, and actually believing and practically exhibiting it, and also keeping temple and oneself clean. And nice point to meditate as Gunicha Marjan is approaching, and also worshipping deities and treating everything as Krishna. Like the example of the grass in Vrindavan is also very, very potent and powerful and equivalent to Krishna's potency. So wonderful points for meditation early in the morning. Devotees can share any reflections if they have.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhupada's instructions always simple and practical. I think Prabhupada insisted upon the importance of tapasya and austerity for advancing in spiritual life. Thank you, Prabhuji. It was very nice, instructive video.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.